Okay, sports fans, we are live. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the Sports Behavior Podcast. I am your host, OgDaBeast, here with my co-host, the legendary Chltwn32. What's popping, Unc?
Yeah, football. That's what's
That's
popping. Let's get
definitely
to it.
what's popping, man. Look, great games. Even back to the Thursday night game was hellacious. This week one was one definitely for the books. We gonna lead off with Monday night's game. Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson goes 19 for 30, 235 yards and a touchdown. He also added 86 more yards on the ground. No touchdowns, but he did have 3 fumbles and lost 2 of them. Now, I wake up swiping on TikTok to find out that a lot of people was blaming Lamar Jackson for this L. It was a great game. It came down to overtime. Final score was 23-27. I thought it would be more scoring, even with the great defense of the Ravens. But the question that I have for you, Unc, is this. Was it really Lamar Jackson's fault? And if not, who would we blame it for this loss?
Well, as the quarterback, what is your job?
To rally your troops, lead, pass the ball, and make sure everything goes according to plan, right?
Take care of, you are the primary ball handler.
Yep.
That is your job, to take care of the football. Now, Lamar is looking for the home run play.
That's true.
All the time.
That's true.
I talked to you, I talked to you yesterday, and I sent you some information where we looking downfield constantly, and we looking for the home run play. Yo, ain't nothing wrong with getting on base.
That's true.
There's nothing wrong with getting a single. There's nothing wrong with getting a double. He has to involve Andrews more in the offense than he does. Has to. 3 catches for 20 yards.
Yeah.
And with him involving him more, we moving the chains. And if we moving the chains, we holding on to the ball. And if we holding on to the ball, that means the clock's running.
Yeah.
That means we keeping the ball away from the defense. Lamar is the best, in my opinion. I think he's the best playmaker in the game.
That's
I don't
facts.
think he's not a better quarterback in terms of playmaking. I think he's overall the best playmaker. There isn't a better playmaker in the game than him.
That's spicy, but I like it.
With that being said, he has to take care of the football. And I think when I watch him, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Ben Simmons. And hear me out on this. It reminds me of Ben Simmons in the aspect that I don't think he trusts in the work that he putting in, because he's working on his game. I see tapes of him working on his game.
Okay.
The problem that we having is it doesn't translate onto the field as much as it should. So I see Andrews on a 3rd down, and I see him lined up in the slot, and he runs a 5-yard dig. He hits him. We moving the sticks. Not only are we moving the sticks, we in the red zone. We've gone over that. That's about tape. That's about me doing my homework, and that's about me trusting the work that I've put in. Lamar, he's one of those guys who I'm watching, and it looks like if it doesn't work immediately, I go right back to what I'm used to doing. When in reality, we're not going to win unless you trust the work that you've put in. He's got to get these other guys more involved. Otherwise, I don't think he's going to last. I love Mark Andrews as his tight end. Tyson Williams running the football the way he was doing.
Lamar Williams, man. He gave him a spark, though. No lie.
Yeah, he did. They were moving the football. I just need Lamar Jackson to trust the work that he's put in and trust the guys that he's putting that work in with. And he's just going to be a lot better, man, because you can see him slinging the football.
Yeah.
You can see his ability to pass. You can see his ability to step in the pocket.
No doubt.
His ability to read defenses. I think he needs to just trust the work that he's put in, and he's just going to be so much better as a thrower if he can do that.
You see, with Lamar Jackson, though, what I noticed yesterday, and the biggest criteria when it came to the Baltimore Ravens was the lack of weapons that they have on offense. And I know they improved a little bit offensively by grabbing injury-prone Sammy Watkins. That's pretty much the only real addition that they made to this offense. J.K. Dobbins goes down with an ACL. Justice Hill goes down with an Achilles injury. And then we had recently Gus Edwards, who was going to replace J.K. Dobbins. He goes down with an ACL. So now you bringing in 2 veteran running backs. And who did they bring in? Devonta Freeman and Le'Veon Bell. and they had
Correct.
Tyson running the ball. He's starting. They say they're going to give him an opportunity to take over this backfield, and he produced. So I think he earned that, honestly.
Yes,
But my thing is, I had Lamar Jackson as my MVP prediction coming into this season simply because I thought the workload that he would have to carry would kind of force him to be outstanding or they got no shot of winning. And I thought he would be more outstanding than not. And now I'm kind of reconsidering that, watching how the Ravens played on Monday night. It almost looked like you said, you took the words right out of my mouth. Lamar Jackson is looking for the home run. Lamar Jackson is so action-packed that he's always looking for a way to get 6. And and it's like, I noticed him dancing around in the pocket, being a lot of indecisiveness with his movements. He really don't like. It seemed to me that he didn't trust his offensive line. He was getting pressured a lot, and it seemed to me that he lost faith and trust in his offensive line. He was dancing around in the pocket a lot, hanging the ball out there like Mike Vick used to do in the early 2000s. And it's like, if that first read ain't there, he's looking for a way out because he don't trust that offensive line. So I don't know if I really want to blame Lamar Jackson. I kind of want to blame the pieces around him because I feel like if Lamar Jackson had a true dominant number one, not even dominant, just somebody that's reliable, somebody that can get open on third down for him, somebody that he could stare down, even though as a quarterback, this ain't something you're supposed to do. But if Lamar Jackson has somebody he could stare down, give him an Amari Cooper, give him a Mike Evans, give him a CeeDee Lamb, give him somebody that can beat somebody man-to-man when they run a press on third down, third and short, third and 6, when the defense wants to press, who the hell can get open on the Baltimore Ravens? It ain't been Sammy Watkins. It hasn't been Hollywood Brown. He's about to get stripped of that nickname if you ask me. It ain't been – it's like similar to the David Carr situation. Or Derek Carr, I'm sorry.
Don't stop there, though. Don't stop there, though, Beast. Keep going. Ho. You're leaving somebody out. We just got finished talking about
Mark Andrews. I mean,
man, that's my guy that I'm staring down on third down. That's the guy. That's my security blanket.
I'm not
you know
mad
why?
at that.
The same reason why that's my security blanket is the same reason why when Tom Brady comes to the line of scrimmage, who the first person he looking for?
Gronk.
Where's 87?
Yeah.
If we in 3rd and 6, if we in 3rd and 4, no matter what we running, where's 87? I know, and especially lining up Mark Andrews in the slot, if he's lined up against the linebacker or if he's lined up against the defensive end, that's my guy. I'm going to him immediately, especially if I can get him in a quick or a hot route where I can get him in a slant or if I can get him in a 5-yard hook. We moving the chains.
I agree with that.
You have to trust that.
I agree with that. But also, if you pay attention to it, Mark Andrews had his career year when Lamar Jackson won the MVP. And he went to Mark Andrews a lot. But then again, they did have 2 other tight ends too. So it's like Mark Andrews is like the sole guy there, and he's got to be the guy. And I think Greg Roman needs to get into that coach's room and draw up some plays to get Mark Andrews at least 12 to 15 targets a game because that's pretty much all they got, even if it's incompletions. Get them in motion, let them touch the ball, get them engaged. So then when it's time for him to block, he blocks better. Like Mark Andrews having 2 catches is not going to get the job done, and it is not going to get them boys that ass. They need to get Mark Andrews engaged quickly. Hollywood Brown, you need to step your game up, get your shit together.
That's fair.
Sammy Watkins, stay healthy, step your game up, get your shit together because your quarterback needs some help. Real talk.
No question. And on top of that, to add to that, when you involve him more, he's involved more in other things because now he's going to block harder. Now he's going to run routes harder.
Exactly.
When you involve him in
the shit that people don't want to do, is going to make you do it the more you are involved in the offense.
I'm looking at him on that third down. He was lined up in the slot. He's wide open.
You sent me that play.
If Lamar hits him, not only are we moving the sticks, but now we in the red zone. But instead, he's standing there with his hands up, and Lamar doesn't hit him, and he's like,
yeah.
And that's deflating.
It is.
Especially for a tight end who doesn't get a lot of targets. So when I'm open, look for me, man.
Now,
get me the rock.
Lamar Jackson was the losing quarterback in this one, but I think we need to give credit where credit is due. Derek Carr played a hell of a game. He had over 400 yards, a couple of touchdowns in this one. Darren Waller is a man amongst boys and needs to be put on notice. I think Darren Waller had like 9 for 100 something. He had a touchdown. Darren Waller is like he might have like he's on the level of a Travis Kelce. The way this man can run routes, he's big, long, athletic. Darren Waller is a dog, and that's pretty much all Derek Carr has on that offense. So I think whatever John Gruden's drawing up for Darren Waller, Greg Roman needs to dial up for Mark Andrews. And I'm not saying he's on the level of a Darren Waller, but Mark Andrews is extremely serviceable, and he can definitely get the job done. So shout out to Derek Carr, because I was on TikTok bashing the Raiders. Early in that game, it was very sloppy, and I was on TikTok bashing the Raiders. So Raiders fans, New Vegas fans, I apologize. The Raiders ended up pulling that out. Lamar Jackson fumbled a bunch of times, and here we are. 23-27 final score in overtime. It was a thriller, but damn. Shout out to Derek Carr. Lamar Jackson, you got to play better, man, especially if I got you as my dark horse MVP.
The thing that I was watching, when I'm watching Waller, I immediately thought about Gronk, and not in terms of his, not just in terms of his size, right? Because I think he's 6'6". So we get him in the secondary, and he's coming downhill. What's the plan, okay? Because I can't tackle him up high. Right. He's going to dump truck.
You got to, yeah.
I can't do that.
You got to grab his ankles.
But I can't clip him neither, because now you got to throw 15 more yards on what we just doing.
No doubt.
So how exactly am I going to deal with him? Yeah. And you can't cover him in zone because you got small cornerbacks who can't deal with him because he'll just sit in an 8-yard hook, and you can't deal with him in those areas. Yeah. You can't deal with him there. So when we're talking about a guy like Waller, John Gruden has done a great job in involving him in the O.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys that when I look at their offense, they're not going nowhere without him.
Mm-hmm.
Nowhere.
No doubt about it. But let's segue to this.
I'm listening.
It was some rookie debuts week one.
Mm-hmm.
We got rookie debuts every single season. This one might be one for the books. A lot of these rookies came to play. Jalen Waddle had 4 catches for 61 yards in the tub. My boy, my main man, the one y'all gonna stop being disrespectful towards, Jamar Chase. DJ say stay off his team, but you had him on your bench in fantasy. So I'm on that with you. Jamar Chase, 5 for 101 in the tub. Devonta Smith, my Eagle, he went 6 for 71 in the tub. Zach Wilson, 228 yards, 2 TDs, 1 INT, played decent, could have played a little bit better. Trevor Lawrence, 332, 3 TDs, also had 3 interceptions. I don't know how I feel about his performance, but if I was to ask you a legitimate question, it would be, who do you think had the best rookie debut?
The best rookie debut.
Best rookie debut.
I got a number of different ones, just like you had. I mean, I dug what Rondale Moore did in Arizona. I love what he's doing. Mm-hmm. You know, 4 catches for almost 70 yards. He looked really good. Yeah. I'm digging Nick Bolton on that defensive line in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
Led them in tackles. He was a run stopper. He was doing his best to get to the quarterback, so he did a great job.
Micah Parsons had a good one too. We forgot about them. They played Thursday night.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a name, and you just mentioned him. Devonta Smith. The more I watch him, the more he reminds me of Marvin Harrison. He just gets the football. Just knows how to find him.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but he know where the football is, and the football knows where he is. His routes are really good, and he's just going to get better the more I watch him. But the guy that I was the most impressed with this weekend was Jamar Chase. And I said this to you before, and I'm going to say it to you again. It's not a coincidence that the same guy that's pitching him the pill right now is the same guy who was pitching him the pill 2 years ago.
Yes, sir.
So, this is not a coincidence.
Shout out Joe
that
Burrow,
he's doing
man.
that.
Shout out
and it's
Joe
not a coincidence that Joe Burrow looks the way he does. When you get some familiarity in an offense, I don't care where you are, whether you're in high school, whether you're in college or the pros. When you get something that's familiar, it doesn't take long to adjust to it. And I'm watching Joe Burrow with Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon, and that offense. They're going to be a problem in the AFC North.
I'm telling you. The only issue is that defense. They need to shore up that defense a little bit. But even if, as long as that defense stays bad, we know the Cincinnati Bengals will be throwing the ball a shit ton. Me
yes,
though, to piggyback off of you, it's going to segue to my spicy take of the day. Like I said, y'all been very disrespectful when it came to my man Jamar Chase. He posted, first of all, y'all twisted his words. When he said the ball was different from college to the NFL, all he was basically saying was the laces on the side is different. It ain't got nothing to do with his inability to catch the ball. It's just something he had to get used to. Like I said, Jamar Chase's stats was 5 catches, 101 and a touchdown. Most importantly, 0 drops, which was the stigma in training camp, which was the stigma all through preseason. Look at how many drops Jamar Chase. His stock completely plummeted, especially for fantasy football. And people was calling him a potential bust. And now we can sit back in retrospect and say, hey, to me, just like he had the most impressive rookie debut. Most yards by a rookie debut in Cincinnati Bengals history. Shout out to my man Jamar Chase. He is a dog, and y'all going to stop being disrespectful. These rookies is out here crazy. This might be one of the best draft classes in a long time. Like, for real.
And I know what you're talking about when you talk about Trevor Lawrence. Just so you know, those 332, and he was 55%. I just want to put it on your mind real quick. Okay. You know, Dan Marino was 58% as a rookie. All right, yeah. Peyton Manning threw 29 interceptions as a rookie.
We know.
Let's hold the phone on Mr. Lawrence.
Since we want to put that on record, I just want to let this be known once again. I am definitely on record stating that I feel like even in college that Justin Fields was going to be a better quarterback in the NFL than Trevor Lawrence. I was all kind of stupid, goofy, don't know football, don't know what I'm talking about. I was all of the above. I just want to put that on record once again because when it seems to be a pattern. When I say some shit that's unpopular, people be like, man, he don't know what the hell he talking about, you tweaking. 3 years ago, I said Ben Simmons is not elite. All my friends clown me. All of them. I talk about a bunch of these guys, and this shit seems to come into fruition, and then they don't believe me until it happens. Once again, Justin Fields will be better than Trevor Lawrence. Now, spicy. But this is what I honestly believe. This is what I can see. Now let's move on to this thriller Patrick Mahomes had with Baker Mayfield. This was another great game. The Cleveland Browns held the lead the entire game.
Not most of the game.
The entire game. Baker Mayfield, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, them boys was balling. Even though Baker didn't throw a touchdown, the Cleveland Browns held the lead for the entirety of the game, and Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs didn't get the lead until they won the game. When they got the lead, that's when they won the game. Like, this is what makes Patrick Mahomes special. We've seen him in every bit of situation. Through adversity, we've seen him with pressure. We've seen him down and need a touchdown. We've seen him down and need a field goal. And it's just week in, week out, he pulls through for his organization. Now, we can't slight the help that he's got. Tyreek Hill had like 11 for almost 200. Travis Kelce had 2 touchdowns. I mean, it's just a walk, a show, and an exhibition that you can't really calculate in your head. There's no comparison to a guy like Patrick Mahomes. But this is a thriller. Shout out to Baker Mayfield. Patrick Mahomes goes 337, 4 total touchdowns. Baker Mayfield goes 321, an interception, like I said. He didn't throw a touchdown, right? Tyreek Hill, 200. Travis Kelce, 2 touchdowns. I want to ask you this, though, Unc. As great a game, this kind of reminds me of that Tampa Bay Cowboys game, how it was kind of like a moral victory for the Cowboys. As great a game as the Cleveland Browns played and still lost to Patrick Mahomes-led Kansas City Chiefs, how for real are the Cleveland Browns this year, you think?
To Kansas City, they say that they're a great team, but in the locker room, they like, yo, these dudes can't beat us. And they can't beat us for one reason and one reason only. Baker Mayfield can't take care of the football. That's the difference in the game. Baker looked great in spots. When we get to the end of the game, I'm not tripping on the special teams because they got the ball back. I'm not tripping on the botched punt because they got the ball back.
Right.
Even though Kansas City scored, they got the ball back. Yeah. And not only did they get the ball back, they were marching up the field. And they were marching up the field until what happened? Mr. Baker Mayfield
in the
clutch.
Turn the ball over.
In the clutch, threw an interception, game's over. There's the difference in the ball game. That's when we talk about going through your progressions. That's when we talk about being clutch. That's when we talk about being smart as a quarterback. That's when we talk about knowing time of possession, knowing what the possession is. What we have to recognize about this Cleveland team, offensively and defensively, they got all the goods.
Yep.
They don't have some of the goods.
They got all the goods.
They got all the goods. Landry, 5 for 71. Super precise in routes. Schultz looked awesome. 3 for 69.
Mm-hmm.
He looked great. Jokin, 3 for 76.
No OBJ.
He looked awesome.
No OBJ either, which is arguably one of the most explosive players in the NFL when healthy. So,
and I've said this to you in the past, Beast. I've said this to you before. There's something going on between ODB and Baker that I don't like. Yeah. There's something going on between those two guys. And it's not nothing personal. It's just something going on. There's a dynamic there. There's some friction there. There's some chemistry there. It just doesn't work, and I don't like it. But what I do like is I like everything about this Cleveland team. Their defense with Clowney and Garrett and Walker, who led them in tackles yesterday. They look deep. Man, come on, man. Ward looked awesome.
He did whenever it seemed like he was making a play every time he was on Tyreek Hill. And it's like, man, how is he running foot for foot with Tyreek Hill? I'm just watching him make plays all over the field. Denzel Ward is a dog. I think they should have let him shadow Tyreek with a safety over the top. It's like that's what makes this team so dangerous. They like the Golden State Warriors, man. Even when you up 10, you down 5 because of their ability to shoot the 3 ball. And that's how it is with Kansas City, man. It's like even when you up, you not up. And I know guys on that defensive side of the ball feel uneasy even when they got a lead against these jokers because it's like Patrick Mahomes, for instance, 75-yard bomb to Tyreek Hill. It's like that shit can happen anytime at any moment. If you
and it was outside the pocket too. Don't just
God, that throw
in the pocket. He's outside the pocket. He's going the other way, and he throws a stand-up 60-yard bomb. And this dude walks into the end zone. But the difference, and nobody.
That's why I got a bone to pick with you when you say Tom Brady is better than this guy. That's why you see what you just described. Brilliance, excellence, some shit some shit that Tom Brady couldn't go to bed at night and dream about. And I
can't fight the fact, Beast, that he is more talented. I can't fight that. No, I can't. But I'm looking at Tom Brady in that pocket, and I'm looking at what that offensive line is doing, and he looked like Tom Brady from 2005. And I'm thinking to myself, if this is what you're getting, he's going to be in Los Angeles in February, playing in the bowl game again. That's what it. And I know you don't want to see it. I know you don't want to see it again.
I think
that's what it looks like.
I think a rematch is pretty much inevitable at this point between Kansas City and Tampa Bay. But it's just, how could you sit here and deny the skill set of a Patrick Mahomes? There is nothing he can't do. And I understand you don't want to bet against Brady. Neither do I. But when it comes to this guy, Patrick Mahomes, he's like nothing I ever seen. Like I said, like I told y'all before, he's Aaron Rodgers on steroids. Stop playing. Like when I say that shit, I mean that. Like it's just crazy to even fathom the ability that this guy possesses. I've never seen. He's rolled out to the right. Shaq Barrett is applying pressure to him. He's under duress. Go outside right now and run as hard as you can to your dominant hand and try to throw a football. I guarantee you it won't go over 20 yards.
Across your body, by the way. You're not throwing it that way that you run it. You're throwing it across your body.
I guarantee you it won't go 20 yards. Patrick Mahomes put it on a frozen rope probably about 45 yards down the field.
I won't fight that. That Kansas City offense, I mean, Cheetah went 11 for 197 yesterday. Stop playing.
Tom Brady couldn't dream about making a throw like that, huh?
He went, and I'm not fighting him being the most talented. No, I'm not fighting. I mean, Kelsey went. We ain't even talking about Kelsey going 7 for 76.
Yeah,
where
two tubs.
He got him in the red zone. He get Kelsey in the red zone, and it's like you already know what's coming. It's not news on what's coming. And he's looking at Kelsey, and Kelsey's looking at him like, "Yep,
it's time.
I know where you're going.
It's time.
And
let's do it.
I know where you're going, and you know where I'm going to be at."
And they got so many options on that offense. It's like crazy. You lose Sammy Watkins, and now it's time for Mecole Hardman to step up. They got Duncan Robinson. They got so many weapons on that offense, and it's like when you put a guy like Patrick Mahomes in a situation where all these guys got 4.3 speed, and then you got the underneath safety blanket in Travis Kelce, there's nothing too many defenses could do. To me, in my opinion, the only way you're going to slow down Kansas City is if you try to take Tyreek Hill out the game. I think you should let Gronk kill you.
Good luck.
Because right.
Good luck with
that. But I think you should prioritize Tyreek Hill. Hear me out. If you prioritize Tyreek Hill and you take that one play element, which what makes them who they are, out of the game, because that's what he provides, force somebody else to beat you. Let's see if Mecole Hardman can do it. Let's see if Robinson can do it. But Travis Kelce's not going to kill you 60 yards down the field. He's going to kill you in the short, intermediate passing game, and he's going to chip away at it, right? And they don't want to dominate time of possession. They want to kill you in 3-4 plays and get the hell off the field. Right, that's what they want to do. And if you just so happen to be 3 and out, when you get the ball, you screwed, because now they about to score again.
I won't fight that.
Right, so
I won't fight.
I think the key to success of beating these boys, besides what happened in the Super Bowl, because that's an anomaly. I don't think that's gonna happen again. The way Patrick Mahomes was just so unprotected, he didn't even have time to do anything. That's why they lost. But I think if you slow down Tyreek Hill, I think that's the key to success. But moving on.
I will tell you this too, B. Real quick. I will tell you this, which was underrated yesterday in that game. My man Thornhill, man, he came up with that big stop and made Nick Chubb's fumble.
Yeah, and that's an anomaly. Nick Chubb usually takes care of the ball.
Nick Chubb holds on to the football. Yeah. And then fast forward a couple of plays later, Cleveland's on 3rd down, and he comes up with that big 3rd down stop on Schwartz. Yeah. That was huge.
He played a big game last night in pivotal moments of this game.
That was huge for them.
But you told me before the show that you had a bone to pick with a certain player, right? And his name is Matthew Stafford. He don't want to be called Matt Stafford, according to you. The news is he wants to be called Matthew Stafford. This man had a hell of a game. He was stuck in Detroit all his career. Dark clouds reign over Detroit, Michigan. They never see the light of day. It's been that way since Barry Sanders, right? But now this guy gets a change of scenery. He gets to go to sunny Los Angeles, where it's hot, brand new stadium, a lot of fans. They love him down there, immediately love him down there. He's an instant upgrade from Jared Goofball Goff, in the words of Guru Griff. This man in his debut goes 321, 3 touchdowns, and they win. No, he goes 20 for 26, 331, 3 touchdowns in his debut. And as I'm watching this game and I look at the final stats and I say, damn, he only had 300 yards. Damn, he only had 3 touchdowns, because it looked like he was just hitting Cooper Kupp over and over and over and over again. What say you about this guy's performance? You said you had something to talk about this man. I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
I want to start with the good. Let's start with the good. Okay. 20 for 26. I got 321 yards, 3 touchdowns, a 156 passer rating. 156 passer rating. That's not great. That's the best he's ever had.
That's excellent.
It's the best in league history. Yeah. There's no quarterback in the history of the NFL who can say they had a better passer rating than what he did on Sunday night. No question about it. He was awesome. Going to Cooper Kupp for 103 yards, getting Van Jefferson involved, getting Tyler Higbee involved, the way he was doing with that offense, airing it out. And I think that they only maybe flipped the playbook open to like page 2.
Yeah.
They didn't even dig into the playbook.
They didn't have to. The Bears was just giving them their lunch. They didn't even have to steal it from them.
They didn't dig into the playbook. They probably went to maybe page 3. That was it. However, are we going to sit here and talk about Matt Stafford like he didn't have Megatron for 7 seasons? Are you telling me that Higbee, was he better than Pettigrew? Was he that much better than Pettigrew? So it ain't like he had bums that he was running with. 8 and 65 against teams over 500.
Yeah.
That's 57 games under 500 for Mr. Matthew Stafford.
True.
57.
Outside of Ndamukong Suh, who on that defense was impactful for Detroit all of those years? It's non-existent. Darius Slay and Ndamukong Suh are the only 2 names that come to mind worthy of talking about. So it takes 2 to tango. Nobody's ever won without a top 10 defense, let alone make the playoffs in that division where Aaron Rodgers dominates it, right? And then you got the recent emergence of the Minnesota Vikings. So it's like It's going to be tough, even though Matt Stafford has always been immensely talented. And he did have Megatron, and Megatron is a Hall of Famer, and partially because of that man Megatron as well. Because if we don't remember, having a dominant wide receiver isn't necessarily the key to success. The Detroit Lions went 0-16 on Megatron's watch.
They did go 0-16
So,
on Matt Stafford's watch too.
No, Matt Stafford was not there. It was the quarterback was.
They didn't get Matt Stafford until 2009.
I think they got Max the next season.
That's how they got
after,
the number one pick.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's how they got the number one pick.
And they drafted Matt Stafford, and no shit like that ever happened again. Dan Orlowski was the quarterback.
That's him.
Dan Orlowski.
The dude at ESPN right now.
Yes, talking that talk. Hey, he be talking good about my Eagles. He love him some Carson Wentz, so I got nothing but love for Dan Orlowski. But Dan Orlowski was the quarterback, and I don't even think it was just him. I think Culpepper got him a little bit of run too. He got him some salt on that 0-16. But the bottom line is, it was on Megatron's watch. So, albeit he is one of the greatest wide receivers to play the game, that didn't become solidified until Matt Stafford started throwing him the ball. Let's not forget that. But Matt Stafford now has Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Tyler Higbee, and a bunch of weapons to throw to. Darrell Henderson coming out of the backfield.
Yes, he looked really good yesterday too.
Those Rams look good, and they look poised, especially defensively. They look poised to make a real push this season. I love the direction that they are headed. I want to segue to a little man that had a hellacious game and made a serious argument to be the front runner for early MVP status, and that's Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray had the type of game that you look at and you say, damn, did you expect this week one? I mean, we know what type of player Kyler Murray is.
Correct.
Kyler Murray had 289, 5 total touchdowns and an interception. One of the best players in the league from the quarterback position that is not getting the credit that he deserves. He is not in a lot of people's top 10, and I believe he was not in yours as well, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, he was not.
But Kyler Murray deserves the respect, especially after the game him and D-Hop just had. What you think about?
However, you and I did have a conversation, and you asked me about touchdown leaders.
Oh, and you did say.
You did ask me about touchdown leaders, and I told you that with D-Hop and with the addition of A.J. Green, what they were going to look like this season.
You did speak on that.
I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if he led the league in touchdowns.
And in all fairness, your opinion is entitled to change when provided with new information, and I feel like you've been provided with new information. This team looked exquisite, and this team looks very, very scary in a division that's very, very strong. Chandler Jones on the defensive side of the ball looks like the early candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. 5 sacks in one game. That is his career high. And Chandler Jones just looked unguardable on the line of scrimmage. Shout out to Chandler Jones, John Jones' brother, if you don't know. And them boys steamroll. Them boys look so.
If you look at the NFC West, because you just brought up Kyler Murray, is it fair to say that all 4 teams from the NFC West can make the playoffs?
That's what I don't know if that's possible, but
I don't know if it's possible neither.
I feel like, yes, it's one of the toughest divisions in the NFL. But I wanna segue to something else. Love Kyler Murray. Shout out to Kyler Murray. You in my top 10. If nobody else has you there, I have you there. But I want to segue to this. There was a guy, right, that a lot of people made fun of. There was a guy, right? Look, I need you to look at me in this camera right here. There was a guy that Bleacher Report had ranked 31st best quarterback in the National Football League. That guy's name is Jalen Hurts. And the disrespect stops now. I don't care if it's week 1. I don't give a damn if it was the Atlanta Falcons' terrible defense. By the way, the Eagles' defense played exquisitely well. I love what I saw from my boys up front. I love what I saw from Darius Slay. He completely took Calvin Ridley out of the game. He shadowed him the whole game, and I love what I saw from him. But Jalen,
one of the biggest surprises that I saw this weekend.
Yeah.
One of the biggest surprises.
Yeah.
I was
Darius Slay is a dog. But my man Jalen Hurts, right? What did he go? Jalen goes, let's see here. Where did Jalen go?
Mm-hmm.
I can't find it here. I think he went like two. He had like 3 touchdowns. I think he went like 260, 3 touchdowns. Most importantly, no turnovers. He rushed for another 60-something yards on the ground. Jalen Hurts is just a complete quarterback. And I'm not trying to say he's a top 15 quarterback or we should hoorah. All I'm saying is ranking my guy 31st in the league. 31st in the league. Like, bro, Andy Dalton, bro. Trevor Lawrence. You got Andy Dalton, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, all better than my quarterback. Like, y'all ought to be ashamed of yourselves, Bleacher Report. What the hell is wrong with you? 31st in the league? That's what you're telling me right now. I'm going to say it again. On this podcast, Jalen Hurts will shock the world this season. I would not be surprised if we look up and we find these Eagles in the playoffs simply because of the underrated play of a Jalen Hurts. Now, I'm not saying my team's going to make it because I feel like coming into the season, we're Gabricio. But like I just told Unc, your opinion is entitled to change when provided with new information.
Absolutely. Now, I'll tell you what. I didn't even pay attention to his total numbers more than I paid attention to what he was doing with the intricacies. Yeah. What I mean when I say that, do you know your man was 9 for 11 against the blitz?
Was he?
Your man was 9 for 11 against the blitz, 108 yards, 2 touchdowns. Not one of them, 2 of them.
Stop playing with my man. Put some respect on my quarterback. Stop playing.
Do you know that your man was 7 for 8 on passes over 10 yards?
Look at this.
You could dial it up for me.
He was dotted up.
Let's go down the field.
And we ain't even open up the playbook all the way. Just like we just marching down the field so methodically. He looks comfortable in his pocket. Our offensive line is healthy. Look good, feel good, smell good, play good. Lane Johnson, Jason Kelsey, Andre Dillard. We look magnificent up front on both sides of the trenches. Brandon Graham had himself a game. Fletcher Cox got in there a couple of times. We look great defensively. We look great offensively. I like what I see. And the crazy thing is we ain't even got all that on the offensive side of the ball. We got Devonta Smith. Boobie Miles did his thing. He almost had 100 yards. You know, he's receiving out of the backfield. We got a new running back, Gaineswell. He did his thing. But it's just I would not be surprised if Jalen Hurts had this team, if not in the playoffs, on the brink of making it, because quarterback play is one thing, but composure, maintaining that composure throughout the entirety of the game, you've seen what happened with Baker Mayfield. Played a hell of a game until when he needed to make a play the most, and he shrunk in that moment.
Well, the thing that I want to make sure that we clear about was we can't underestimate the IQ of a quarterback. Yeah. Jalen looked so in command. He looked in command of that huddle. He was going through his progressions. He was making the right reads. He didn't get rattled during the blitz. He knew when to run. He knew exactly who to look for. The thing that I thought about when I watched him was I saw a professional.
Man.
That's what I saw. I saw a pro right there. Now, what I will tell you, because I know that your blood pressure up a little bit right now.
Yeah. I'm happy, man.
I know that you're feeling your boys right now. But just so you know, there's a flight that's coming in the Bird Gang next weekend from the Bay. Yeah, that's right, from the Bay Area, and my boys is coming to town. That's right. So I want to see. We're gonna see what your man really made of.
Now, if Jalen Hurts come out here and give y'all 300, a couple of tubs.
Okay.
I'm going to run my mouth. You going to hear it from me. Oh, you going to hear TikTok going to hear it from me. Uncle Chilltown is going to hear it from me. And anybody that got something to say about this, that's just week 2, OG. It's just week 2. I don't give a damn. It's going to be just week 25. Listen, if Jalen Hurts beats the 49ers, we going to the damn playoffs.
Uh-oh.
Book it. Jalen Hurts beats the Niners this week. We going to the offs. Book it. Point blank period. So book it. We could book that. But let's segue to this, though. Real quick on this topic. Let's not take too much time because I want to get into these performers. What the hell happened with Aaron Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers looked like poo-poo on a stick. Jameis Winston was eating his lunch. The Saints defense was so hellacious in the past. They was confusing the hell out of Aaron Rodgers. He thought it was single high. They was running cover 2. He thought it was man-to-man. They was running a zone. It was like Aaron Rodgers could just not stay anywhere but on his ass the whole game. They had him mind-boggled out here. I've never seen Aaron Rodgers this distraught. And not only that, while Aaron Rodgers was confused and baffled about what was going on, we got Jameis Winston under one of the best offensive-minded coaches in the league, throwing for 5 touchdowns. Jameis, most importantly, didn't turn the ball over. 5 touchdowns for 150 yards through the air. I don't think I ever seen a stat like that in my lifetime. But shout out to Jameis Winston. I know Drew Brees was hurting because I was watching him in a pregame and a postgame. Drew Brees looked salty that Jameis Winston can throw this ball like he never could, and that's the only element that's been missing in this New Orleans Saints offense. What you think about that, huh?
Let me start by saying I've never seen Aaron Rodgers play as bad as he played. Do you know that Aaron Rodgers, he could have thrown the ball in the dirt 28 times and had a better QBR? 13 QBR, 133 yards for the game. I'm thinking to myself, who is that number 12? Because that is not Aaron Rodgers. I don't know who that is right there. Because that is not that dude.
They saying he might have threw the game with all the shit that went down in the offseason with him and the Packers. Like people are really out here saying that Rodgers might have thrown this game, man. Can you process that?
Did he look? How disinterested did he look? He was making reads and he was throwing the ball in the stands, and it was like, my fault. All right, give me the ball. We'll try it again. I've never seen him so disinterested and play so bad. Meanwhile, I'm loving everything I see about Jameis Winston. The reason why I'm loving it is for one reason and one reason only. Sean Payton is the definition of a coach. Yeah. Whatever it is that you know how to do, that's what we're gonna do. Mm-hmm. What you don't know how to do, we getting rid of that. Jameis Winston. You like to throw the long ball. We're going to add that to our offense.
And that changes everything.
We're not going to throw the long ball 50 times, though. Because, no, we're not doing that. But we are going to light them up. Yeah. We're absolutely going to do that. Yeah. We're going to put you in the pocket because Jameis is smarter than people think he is. Mm-hmm. He's actually more accurate than people think he is.
I just think
14 for 20.
Yeah.
Let me make sure that we're clear on this.
Of it.
14 for 20, 148 yards. Beast, do you know how many quarterbacks in the history of the NFL have thrown for 5 touchdowns and less than 150 yards?
Probably 0.
0. Yeah. That's how many.
If I had to take a guess. I've never seen that in the history of the game.
We've never seen that before.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's a testament.
We've never seen that before.
And like I started the segment with, that's a testament to that defense and how hellacious they had Aaron Rodgers just on another planet. Like the way, if Jameis Winston can keep this up. See, here's the problem with Jameis Winston, right? Jameis Winston was in a system where Bruce Arians runs this air raid offense and they pass heavy. Pass down the field. So when you have a free-flowing offense like that and you got a guy that's not great at making the best decisions in Jameis Winston, he got that fuck it attitude. I'm going to just throw it up. So if Jameis Winston's got that attitude in the air raid offense, it's going to lead to a lot of interceptions. Look at Tom Brady threw like 13 interceptions last year.
12 of them to be exact.
Simply because of the air raid offense.
That's third most in his career.
That's what I'm saying. And he probably ain't threw that many interceptions in over a decade. That's because of the air raid offense. It's not a coincidence that he gets with Bruce Arians and throws the third most interceptions he's threw in a career and the most in over a decade. Same thing with Jameis. Now he's in an offense with Sean Payton to where it's more precise. He has less freedom and it's more about the playbook and realizing who's open, who's not open. They run kind of a West Coast style offense, but that might change under Jameis Winston because of his ability to throw this thing downfield. Now let's get into the performances we had this weekend. A lot of great ones. We had a lot of great performances. Yeah, we had a lot of bad performances. A lot of hellacious play. A lot of shitty play. Yes, I primarily like to lean towards offense because I love offense. Defense is cool, but I'm an offensive guy. But I want to ask you, give me real quick, your top 5 performers of the week. Don't forget about Thursday's game either.
I ain't gonna forget about Thursday's game, but My top 5 performances of the week. Honorable mention. I'm gonna go with your man Jalen Hurts. He was awesome.
Honorable mention.
Honorable mention. He's right outside the top 5. Right outside the top 5. Number 5, I got to go with Derek Carr. He threw for the most yards. He threw for almost 450 yards for the weekend. Threw for 436 yards. He was awesome yesterday. Absolutely. 17 completions, over 20 yards. That was incredible. Matthew Stafford, like I just told you, 156 quarterback rating. Nobody has ever done that in the history of the NFL. Number 3, I gotta go with my man Debo.
Okay.
Let me put this on your mind real quick, my man. 5 for 7 when he was in the slot, 149 yards, right?
Debo had
2 touchdowns, 4 for 5 in the slot, 4 for 5. I'm sorry, 5 for 7, 149 yards, past 10 yards. That was my boy. 4 for 5 in the slot for 40 yards. He went for 197 yesterday. He was awesome.
Yeah, Debo had it.
All right, my boy Debo Samuels was awesome. Number 2, I got to go with Russ. Russ was incredible. All he was doing was just pitching it all over the park yesterday. Pitching it all over the park.
Tyler Lockett had a day. Tyler Lockett had himself a day.
That's all he was doing. And they weren't doing anything cute. Yo, we running go routes. And Russ was going, go, and I got you.
No doubt.
And number 1, I have to go with number 1, and it's the defense. Chandler Jones, he just completely lit that Tennessee offensive line up. They couldn't do nothing with him. 5 sacks, 2 forced turnovers. He was the difference in what they were doing.
I might have hyped up or got a little bit in my feelings when you said honorable mention goes to Jalen Hurts at 5, before your top 5. But I agree. Honorable mention, same thing here. Jalen Hurts. A lot of guys had great games this weekend, not to slight anybody, but if I had to choose 5, it's pretty similar to yours. But at 5, I'm going Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon had himself a day, 150 yards total offense. Man had a touchdown. He had himself a day. At 4, I got Dak Prescott. We cannot forget about what Dak Prescott put on display. Even though it was in a losing effort, Dak Prescott threw for over 400 yards and had 3 touchdowns. He did throw an interception, but it was not his fault. It was CeeDee Lamb's fault. At 3, I have Chandler Jones at 3. Even though the 5 sacks should get more credit than I'm giving it right now, but my God, the guys above him just had themselves a day, and they can't go unnoticed. At 2, I got Patrick Mahomes. Give me Kyler Murray at 2 and Patrick Mahomes at 1. 2, okay. Kyler Murray had himself a day. I think he put himself as the lead of the MVP race. Sometimes it's not about what you do, but how you do it and how you look doing it. And Kyler Murray, even though you could argue Patrick Mahomes had a better game maybe because of how close it was and the significance, but Kyler Murray looked better doing it. It just seemed like he was unguardable. He did whatever the hell he wanted to do when he wanted to do it. It seemed like them boys didn't punt the ball one time. So I got Kyler Murray at 2, and I got Patrick Mahomes at 1. Now we're going to flip it. Give me them boys that was ass, that disappointed you. Give me your top 5 most disappointing performances of the weekend.
Well, we're going to start at the bottom. We'll start at the bottom with number 5 with my man Kyle Pitts. I got him. I had him preseason offensive rookie of the year. And I got 4 catches for 31 yards. That's not going to get it done.
And I got him on my fantasy team, so trust me, I know.
That's not going to get it done. He's got to be better. I'm not saying that he should be good. He's got to be better. And number 4, I got Baker. That interception at the end is what pushed it over the top for me because he looked great, but in the end, this was the difference in the ball game.
True.
Number 3, my man Raheem Mostert. Not only 2 carries for 20 yards, he's out for the season. Knee surgery, he's out for the season. He only played half the season last year. Now this season, he's out for the season. He's got a chipped cartilage in his knee, and he's done for the season. I'm sick over this.
And I have Raheem Mostert on my fantasy team. Listen, chat, I am done with Raheem Mostert. This is the 2nd year in a row he's burned me. He's got so much ability. He's fast as hell, but I'm done with Raheem Mostert. We can book it.
Great.
I'm never drafting Raheem Mostert in another fantasy league. I don't care what I hear in the offseason. What Stephania Bell tells me, I don't care. I'm never drafting Raheem Mostert again. Go ahead, Damn.
Number two, that Tennessee offense. In the words of my co-host Beast over here,
Gabricio.
Come on, man. Tannehill, 17 QBR, 86 rushing yards. You got the league leading rusher on your team, and you guys run for 86 yards for the game. Trash. And number one, and I don't even think this is a question, Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. We either got to scrap, we either got to play a 16-game season, or we got to act like what happened on Sunday just didn't happen.
Just because you said it, I'm going to get it out the way right now. My number one is Aaron Rodgers, so I'm not even going to discuss it. I'm not mentioning him again for the rest of the show. Aaron Rodgers was your number one. He's my number one. Aaron Rodgers was Gabricio, point blank, period. Now, my disappointment, the bag of garbage that I compiled for this weekend, 5. Yo, man that I just destroyed, Raheem Mostert, Gabricio, you hurt his knee again. This man is out for the season. At first, it was 8 weeks. Then he said, damn that. I need to be gone for the season. It is so bad. Fantasy owners are sending him and his family death threats. You should never do that. But that is how ruthless fans are nowadays. It is that bad. Number 4, I got Aaron Jones. This man had 5 carries for 9 yards. Anybody affiliated with that Packers offense was complete trash. It wasn't one highlight or anything positive about this Packers offense. Aaron Jones is way too talented to go 5 for 9 yards. My man didn't even get a fantasy point. Like, bro, what's up with you? You're garbage. Number 3, Saquon Barkley. 10 for 26. Now, I want to kind of give Saquon a pass because he didn't look healthy and he looks pretty premature coming out here trying to run the ball for this behind this bad offensive line. But damn that. You going to get it too. You was Gabricio, Saquon.
Beast, wait a minute though, Beast. Come on, man. I just came off an ACL injury, right? 9 months ago. 9 months ago, I just came off an ACL injury. I'm just getting involved in this. Oh, my God.
You see this face? This is the face I had watching Saquon run the ball. It was monstrosity. It was Gabricio. Saquon, if you ain't healthy, stay your ass off the field. Point blank, period.
Trash.
And number 2, who should be number 1, is the whole Chicago Bears. Why the hell is Andy Dalton in the game? Every time Justin Fields touched the field, that rhymes for a reason. I always say, if you don't mean to rhyme, but it rhymes anyway, it was meant to be said. Every time Justin Fields touched the field, something happened. Magic happened. Rushing touchdown, completions. Put him in the game, Andy Dalton.
It wasn't a red zone, no, Beast.
Listen,
hold on now.
That's the hardest place to complete a pass. That's the hardest place to score is in the red zone. And listen, things get tighter in the red zone. And even the fact that they put him in the red zone in that situation to not only have an option to pass, to not only have an option to run, but have an option to pass. And this first possession as an NFL quarterback was a pass in the red zone. That could have easily been a pick. The red zone is the hardest place to score. Even though it's supposed to be the easiest, statistically, it's the hardest place to score. Chicago Bears, what the hell are you doing? You have a gold mine on your bench. Do not waste this kid. I don't give a damn about Aaron Donald. I don't give a damn about Jalen Ramsey. I don't give a damn about that defense and trying to protect him. Put him in the game. Get Andy Dalton. Cut Andy Dalton. Don't even put him on the bench. Cut this muff. He's garbage. He's over the hill. This is not the Cincinnati Bengals. They have moved on, and a lot of teams have too. He's Gabricio. Get him off of the field and out of the NFL. I'm tired of so many quarterbacks catching all of these breaks. How the hell Andy Dalton luck into a starting job? Get his ass off the field. Real talk. I'm moving on from this segment. Got me upset. Got my man Justin Fields out here riding the pine. While this man, Andy Dalton, is in here throwing picks, looking like a dumpster fire. Get him off the field, man. Let's segue. Now, the NBA season is approaching us. It'll be here, what, October? What is this? What we in? We in August?
Training camp opens in 2 weeks.
Okay, so it's coming. Like, we almost there. Like, it's knocking on the door. It's time to get your fantasy drafts in order, and it's time to get ready for some NBA basketball. But I want to talk to you about, just to throw a little bit of NBA sauce in there for all my NBA fans I hear that need it fixed. We got a lot of the consensus is, okay, well, the Lakers should be in the finals representing the West. The Nets should be in the finals representing the East. If anybody had to place some money on it that's watching this podcast right now, I guarantee you that's the money you placing on it, right? So I'm saying to you, there's some teams that might make a push, whether it be for the playoffs or just be better than expected. I want to know what team you got on your radar with anticipation to be better than anybody's expecting them to be.
Indiana,
okay.
The reason why I'm looking at Indiana is because they've been snake bitten. This is the first time that they're going into training camp healthy with LeVert, Miles Turner, Brogdon, T.J. Warren.
Is LeVert going to be healthy? It seemed like he always hurt, man.
Right. It seems like he's always hurt. This is the first time T.J. Warren has been healthy.
I forgot about T.J. Warren.
This is a 20-a-game guy, right? Sabonis. This team's going to be a lot better than people give them credit for this season. And if they can stay healthy, they're going to shock a lot of people.
You know what? I was in your live the other day, and I engaged with you, and you mentioned something, somebody by the name of Colin Sexton. Darius Garland is over there. Lauri Markkanen, the new addition, is over there. They got Jared Allen protecting the paint, grabbing rebounds, and getting putbacks over there. I think the Cleveland Cavaliers can make some noise. Now, I'm not saying playoffs, but I am saying they're going to piss a lot of teams off because a team that finished as low as they did in the season, in the seeding the previous season, a lot of the elite teams are looking at them as a night off. And this is a team you might mess around and stumble across, and they be like, damn, we got to play them serious, man? This is supposed to be our night off. This is the Cleveland Cavaliers. No. I think
you left Mobley out, too. Don't forget Mobley.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, these guys are young. They athletic. They running the floor. And I think Cleveland might surprise some people. What's going on from New Zealand? How y'all feeling?
What's going on, New Zealand? How y'all running?
Good?
Y'all running good in New Zealand.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But I got the Cavs to surprise some people in the NBA next season. Speaking of the NBA, we're going to stay here. I want to ask you a very tough question, a question that's been circling around social media over the past few months. I want you to give me your top 5 most skilled offensive NBA players of all time.
Man, and I this was a really tough list
for me
because there's a number of different guys, man, who are ridiculously offensively skilled.
Okay.
Now, understand that just because you could throw the ball between your legs and throw the ball behind your back and shoot a fall-away 22-footer does not make you the most skilled player offensively. It is a multitude of things. It is a multitude of things. So when I think about the most skilled players, I had to take some guys and take them into account. I had to take all of these things into account, and I had to leave some guys off. So I had to leave Kyrie Irving off. I had to leave Wilt Chamberlain off, which broke my heart. I had to leave Wilt off, and I had to leave Kobe Bryant off. I had to leave Kobe Bryant off. So when I think about the most skilled guys at 5, Steph Curry.
Okay.
Steph Curry stretches the defense. Steph Curry is the best long ball shooter that I've seen off the bounce, and he causes the most havoc with that. His ability to play make off the basketball, his ability to get to the basket, his ability to handle the basketball, his ability to get to the basket and play make for others. I have him at number 5. At number 4, I got the Slim Reaper. The Slim Reaper is incredible. And I have never really seen anything like that. A guy who can handle the basketball the way he does, with the mid-range that he has and is shooting the long ball like he does. I haven't seen anybody like that. At number 3, I got the Magic Man. At number 3, I got the Magic Man. And I've never seen a guy at his size with the ability to play make, with the ability to pass, with the ability to control the tempo of the game, with the ability to play in transition. Never seen nobody like that in the history of the game, in my opinion. Number 2 and number 1 were the toughest for me, because when I think about these two guys, what is the difference? What is the separator between these two guys? Well, what's the separator? Jordan can score. He's a better scorer. That's the difference. Because James, he's better in transition. He's a better passer. Jordan's a better shot creator.
You're not about to do this right now.
Jordan is a better shot maker.
We need a whole show for this.
Yeah,
we about to do.
Jordan is a better shot maker. He's not a better shot creator, not just for others. So I have to go at number 2, James, and at number 1, Jordan.
You scared me for a minute, but I'm not even mad at that. I don't even have LeBron James on my list. I don't.
What?
He's not on my list.
How do you not have James?
LeBron James is not on my list. I know. Look, at 5, I know he was inefficient. You know where I'm going with this. I know he wasn't the most efficient scorer, but there wasn't a damn thing on that court this man couldn't do. And your disrespect for this guy needs to stop immediately. Tracy McGrady, 6'9". This man, you want to talk about put it through your legs? Not only is he putting it through his legs, but it's going around his back and in the hoop. Kobe said it himself, 9-time all defensive first team. This man is the hardest man I've ever had to cover. The hardest man I've ever had to guard. Now, when we want to call Kobe a slouch defensively, that's opinion-based, whatever the case may be. But as high IQ as Kobe Bryant is, he says that man was the hardest that he ever had to guard. At 4, I got Kyrie Irving. I think Kyrie Irving is arguably one of the most skilled offensive players when it comes to a repertoire. This man is not only efficient when it comes to scoring the ball, but he's got the greatest handles I ever seen in my life. There's not a damn thing he can't do offensively. Fall away jump shots. He shoots the 3-pointer at a high clip. His playmaking ability could be better, but he's more of a scorer. He's an offensive threat. So his ability to play make can come from off the ball. It doesn't have to be while dominating the ball. At 3, I got Kobe Bryant. Now, it was tough for me to put. It was either between Kobe or Jordan. And for you to not even have Kobe on your list as a basketball guy, and I'm sitting over here debating whether he should be over Jordan, that is blasphemy. I cannot believe it. This is incredibly crazy. You don't have Kobe on your list, and I'm debating whether I should put him over Jordan. What couldn't Kobe do offensively? He can shoot the 3. Fadeaway jump shot got lethal as he aged like fine wine. If it wasn't for his Achilles, Kobe would have been in his 17th season giving you 25 a night on some LeBron shit. Kobe Bryant, up and under, the only player in NBA history I've ever seen create a move and nobody else copied it because it's not something that you could just do on command, and that's the reverse pivot. Kobe Bryant didn't use his pivot like regular people. Kobe would pump fake this way and spin back this way. When you pump
all you talking about is scoring, though, Beast. That's all you talking about. You ain't talking about nothing else he doing.
The list
you talking about putting the ball in the basket.
Look.
That's all you talking about.
The list is offensive. It's his top 5 offensive most gifted. I can't even speak.
And there's more things than just putting the ball in the basket. What else can you do?
What's the first stat on the stat sheet of the box score? Scoring, because that's the most important. I know there's other elements to offense, but scoring is the most important. I don't care about foreplay. If you ain't putting the bang bang in the bang bang, you ain't doing nothing. Oh, there's more elements to this than that. Really?
Yes.
No, that is the end all be all. Kobe Bryant is at 2. Is at 3. What was he? He's at my 3.
Number 3. You got him at 3.
Number 2, I got Michael Jordan, because I think the most skilled offensive player of all time is Kevin Durant. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. Kevin Durant puts the ball in the hoop at a rate that is like no other when it comes to a per-game basis and efficiently. Man averaged 30 in the playoffs. And I know it's not all about scoring, but it's all about scoring. That's all I care about. Scoring. How well can you score the ball? Point blank, period. And the Slim Reaper is 7 foot tall, and it ain't a damn thing he can't do on the court. If he wanted to play make, he can play make. All these other guys, when you consider playmaking as an attribute offensively, are just A, more ball dominant, and B, more willing to pass the ball. Why the hell would Kevin Durant pass the ball when he can score it himself? And off the ball, he averaged 4 assists. 4.5 to be precise. Damn that. That passing shit, that's cute. All that extra shit, that's cute too. But let's be honest here. Guys that pass the ball primarily usually comes with the fact that they can't score it like other guys can. Because if you could, you would do it yourself. Why would I give it to you when I can do it myself? Look at Jordan, one of the greatest scorers to ever play the game. Damn that passing shit. I'm going to leave that to Scotty. He's going to pass it to me. I'm going to do it myself. Kevin Durant, I'm going to do it myself. Imagine if KD took 30 shots a game. He averaged 40, but he kindly only takes 13. And gives it off to somebody else because he's efficient. He can get you 30 off 14 shots because that's what he do. And that is my list of top 5 most skilled offensive players of all time.
Putting the ball in the bucket. He don't care about nothing else.
It's the most important thing. I don't pull my pistol out unless I'm ready to bang. Point blank, period. Like a city girl. Now, we gonna end the show with something we like to call questions from the fans. Usually, we take it to the TikTok Q&As, but today and here forward, we going to let y'all right here, right now in the chat, ask us any question you want, whether it's sports related, non-sports related, whatever you want, personal questions about us. Y'all spamming up the crying, laughing emojis. I appreciate y'all tuning in, but give us some questions. Let us know what you want us to talk about right now, right here. Questions from the fans. Let's go. Spam up that chat box. Whatever we see, we're going to reply to 2 of them, maybe 3 of them. Top 5 albums of all time. KB says top 5 rap albums of all time. Do we got enough time for that? I don't even. Right? We ain't got enough time for that. Who's the best rapper out right now? That's simple. Drizzy Drake for me. Who you got, Unc?
Drizzy.
Yes,
that's
sir.
who I got. Drizzy.
Okay. Let's see. Carolina Panthers record would be who's coming out the AFC North. Top 5 rappers all time. KG or Dirk. How many points you about to average on 2K tonight, Duffit gave it. Hey, give me the pill. 30. Will Kevin Durant catch LeBron James on the all-time scoring list? That's a tough question, and I like that. I think that's one I want to get into. Will Kevin Durant catch LeBron James on the all-time scoring list? I think Kevin Durant is like what? How old is Kevin Durant? 32, 30, 33, 34? Is he older than Steph?
33 on opening night.
He's 33, right?
He just turned 33 this month.
I think Kevin Durant is almost at 30,000 points.
Not close.
He got about 27, right?
Nope. He ain't even in the top 25.
So what he got?
23,000.
No, he only got 23.
23,000.
Okay,
This is why when I got to listen to you and the rest of these people talk to me about Kevin Durant being the greatest scorer of all time, I'm ready to crash my car into a pine tree.
That's because it's not about totals, because his career ain't over with. So we got to judge it on a trajectory that he's headed on. And not only that, what he gives us on a per-game basis. And he's one of the greatest at that. So if we're talking about Kevin Durant with 23,000, which is, I mean, now that I think about it, it's not bad. LeBron is at, what, 34,000, 34,000 right now?
2 more seasons, and he'll pass Malone and Jabbar.
Yeah,
2 more.
Yes, 2 more seasons averaging 20 points.
All he got to do is average 18 a game.
Yeah, if he averaged 20 a game, he's passing both of them. So to answer your question, the answer is no, because in order to pass LeBron, he would have to get 40,000 points, which is what I think LeBron James is going to finish his career with. There's got to be no. All right, let's answer one more question and we're going to get the hell up out of here.
Yes, sir.
You guys play NBA fantasy. Would you consider do a podcast league? Maybe for basketball. You know, if Unc is with it, we could talk about it. Maybe doing a NBA fantasy league or something like that. Why is Jordan the GOAT? Well, Unc don't believe Jordan the GOAT, so.
Whoa. You're talking about being the GOAT, okay? You are one of the greatest of all time.
Okay.
And why is Jordan the GOAT? Well, Jordan is I remember him when he had hair, when they used to call him Air Jordan. He's the most complete basketball player that I've ever seen. Playing on both sides of the basketball, an elite playmaker, an elite scorer, could score on anybody, never back down from anybody. Watched his game maturate from when he first came into the league to when he became that dominant player.
Yeah.
So to watch him do that and to watch him sustain that for years puts him in that conversation at the top of the list.
I think what makes Jordan the GOAT is what he's done in a short span. I emphasize this a lot. I'm on multiple podcasts. I'm on record saying this, so I ain't even got to delve into it. But, I mean, this is my own podcast, so I could delve into it, but we ain't got enough time for that. But to be simple, Jordan played 13 seasons with the Chicago Bulls, and what he accomplished in 13 seasons was something that's we've never seen before in such a short span. The 10-time scoring title, 6 championships, 5 MVPs, you know what I'm saying? Like, defensive player of the year, everything that he's accomplished in such a short span. If Jordan didn't go to Washington, he probably averaged upwards of probably 31 to 32 points per game. I think him going to Washington kind of ruined his averages because Jordan is a career 30-point scorer. You know what I'm saying? And because he played only 15 seasons, really technically, if you're not counting his second year when he broke his foot and in 95 when he only played 13 games, when he was coming back from his hiatus, he really only played 13 legit seasons. And to accomplish what he's accomplished in that span is a big part of why I believe he's the greatest to ever do it, because nobody in that short span has ever done anything or come close to what he's done. We still talking about whether or not LeBron James could be that, and he's going into his 19th season. So Jordan did this shit in this short span, in this short prime. But anyway, we're going to get on up out of here. I appreciate everybody that joined us today for this live show. I love the responses that we've been getting from you guys. If you want to reach us, hit up either one of our TikToks at OgDaBeast_sports. That is Chltwn32. And we're going to be right back, Friday night, 8 p.m. Make sure y'all dropping a follow to the Twitch and all socials. Links will be in bios everywhere. We ain't hard to find. We are not hard to find. I'll see y'all tomorrow, or actually Friday. And if you want to catch me on a daily basis, head over to TikTok. What you got on?
Take it light, but take it.
Yes, sir. We out.
Out.